All right, all you devils out there, happy Monday. Sam here with you. Well, it's a little after 12 noon here, so I got a nice little mix here of some traditional assets. I've got a member looking for a quick update on Bitcoin and Ethereum. We'll probably do that. Oh, the Pizza Man, good for you. Good to see you back in here. A couple of our regs, some talented Elliotticians here giving us some charts to work with here. So as is always the case, right? So I say this for partly members as well as any YouTube subs that might be finding us or joining us every now and then. Just so you understand what we're doing, we have members pick the charts that they want to review, things that they're watching that are in, perhaps on their watch list, or could be trades that they're in, trades that are setting up that they're interested in participating in. And the premise is, as I've said many times, so that, of course this is for those that might not have been here before, what we try to do is have the members teach back to us what we're teaching to them. Right? It's a long-held belief that if you want to really learn something, you got to be able to teach it. And that's kind of what we're asking members to do here, right? Okay, so you've been through all of this educational content. Now I want you to teach it back to me. Right? So that's kind of what we're after. And in the process, for any of you that are not members, or certainly, of course, would be applicable to members, you might see something here setting up that might make your watch list, right? Perhaps there's a trade setting up here that you want to participate in. So first up here, this would be, I guess more for an international audience. This is PKS Avenda, who's become a very skilled Elliottician. I think he's level 2 now. He's an EWI level 2. He's a purple belt with us, right? So he knows what he's doing. So this is some interesting work here. Now this is I'd never seen this company before. WIPRO. I had to look them up over on FinViz. It's basically, I guess it's technology and information technology, but they're based out of India, but they do trade on the New York Stock Exchange. It appears, yep, they do. So, so here's the COVID low. So I went out to a daily. Now PK, I think you sent me a 4-hour. So we'll, here it is. We go up the stairs. Looks like we're coming down a little faster. So here's COVID low. Boom. And we hit what? Oh, it's October. When's our October of 21? And now we're giving back. Well, where would you suspect that we would find support? If we're going to retrace, where would you think we'd find that support? Right? Oh, I thought that only was for U.S. companies. Chart's a chart. They all say this trade the same way. This is a very big company, right? I'm just looking at their financials. This is a big company. So, I mean, there's points where I show this so often. I mean, of course it's going to bounce there, right? I mean, here's the first bounce at the 50, right? No, we're rolling over. Where do we go? Right to the golden zone. So is that a setup? Hell yes. Absolutely, right? What a beautiful looking setup. Look at the nice divergence here. So I've got, here's an Elliott Wave Oscillator, an RSI, right? So if this were going to be, if we're going down, why aren't we rolling over here? Now, we're at the 50, which you guys heard me say many times. I would tell you is more important than the 70. What was he got? Some people do a 70. Some people do 80-20, 75-25. He's doing 70-30 here. So as we're coming in this little wedge, I know you can't see that very well. We'll blow it up in a second. But as this final leg, this ending diag is completing not just in the golden zone. We are literally completing an ending diagonal in the golden zone. It really is just amazing, right? You would think, oh, well, things are going to be different. Nope, they never are. Right, at least not until we see it changing. Right, this is this is how the market moves. Right, it's not why it moves, how it moves. Okay, so as we sit here, okay, so think about what we have here. This is something you hear me say a lot. Why would you not want that trade? I mean, as we sit here at the golden zone, getting a little reaction. Now, let me go to the 4-hour that you sent me. So his thought here is he's going to be a little more conservative, which I fully respect and understand, right? So he's saying, okay, if indeed we're going to put in a low down here, we could be done here. Are we done here? Well, his proposal is we're going to go a little bit lower, perhaps even break the golden zone. Let's see if we go into log scale. In log scale, we'd put it at 50. Now, do we have the range here to support log? Well, yeah. I mean, look, this is a beast of a company, right? 159. What was our high here? 736. Now we're retracing. So in effect, right now, put it in log scale, right? It's certainly 4 times the range, right? So oh, is it? Yes, it is. Okay, so we're certainly 4 times the range. Put it in log scale, you can kind of see like, boy, this really makes sense. Now, this is a little funky here, but notice all the extensions in here. So he's actually got to count this as 1, 2, massive rip here, 4, and then again, look at the big extension in the 1, right? So this is good Elliott work, right? And of course, he's going to have good Elliott work. So 1, 2, 3, big rip, 3, 4, 5. Right? Beautiful cut. Just sometimes you can't script them any better, right? I mean, just clear impulse in the 3rd, clear a 5 to end it. All right, look at the, come down here, right? So we'd be, here's 3, look how we're fading. That momentum is fading, right? This is a good one. I think this is, I think we feature this in our white belt course. There's several of these. This is just a nice one just for the color coding. So look at all that momentum decline as the price is putting in new highs, right? It's not a guarantee, right? There are no guarantees. There's no absolutes in trading, but that's certainly a bit of a tell, right? Now, you always, I mean, this is just human nature. So after the fact, we go, oh, God, well, oh, that was so obvious. Well, obviously, right? A little bit of that, right? But it's certainly here, I mean, these are the kind of things you want to be looking for. So here, when we're accelerating here, when we're in the impulsive phase here, this all makes sense, right? But now as we're fading, you're actually looking for that. That's the whole advantage of using the Elliott oscillator, is to make that distinction between, well, the easiest way to use it is between 3 and 5. Right now, we don't want 4s going as deep as that, right? That's actually not what you want. You want to keep your 4s, oh, if I was going to use a horizontal line, we want to keep our 4s something like that. You really don't want the momentum going that drastically deep in a 4. So for an Elliott oscillator, it was originally taught to me, you wanted to keep it really tight, right? So ideally would be just a little poke, maybe just a little bit in the 4. You'd pull back and then you'd rip into that 5, but you'd be looking for that divergence between 3 being the most impulsive and then the fade at the 5th, right? The 4 being that retracement. Ideally, you come right to 0 and then you go. But we don't always get ideal. But look at the trade plan here. What do we got? 2 or 3 here, PK? 2. Just okay. So he's going to wait. Now he's going to wait for this to finish because per his count, we're not done yet, right? So he's got us going. Oh, let's get it labeled here. He's got an ABC into the 1, so it's 1, 2, working on 3, right? 4, and then we finish it with a 5, right? So maybe we come right down here to this 5th right now. No, right? It's interesting. So if out of log, we're at the golden zone. If we go into log, we'd be approaching the 50. That's a trader's conundrum. There's no easy answer here, but the general idea is if you're at 4 times the range, then it's certainly you want to look at it in log scale, just so you can get that separation, and it certainly makes it more. No, what's the word I want? I think you get a cleaner look at the retracement here by the expansion. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this is, yeah, you're kind of stuck with this. It's not the swing structure here is not ideal. So he's got to do it this way: A, B, long C. Oh, I'm going to guess he looked at alternates here. I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to guess that he would have looked at considering the WX, right? But it doesn't quite play. One, if this were the X, it's not quite far enough, right? Again, ideally, right, to have a whole lot of conviction in the X, you'd want to have it, maybe a 618 here. If this were to complete, if we were going to do A, B, C, you're only making the 38. If this is a completed W, you'd want that X to be, well, certainly between the 50 and the golden zone, so you could get an algo participating in that. So my guess is that's the process that he went through here. It's like, okay, could this be the W? A, B, W, X, Y? Well, you've got a pretty good looking impulse that's in here, right? So that's, I'm sure, why he's leaning into this. 1, 2, 3. Well, there's the 4, 5, right? Now let's see if we can spot that here. Let me use this, right, just to give you an example of it. If this is the 3, so in this particular case, right, so here, good test case here. So the initial push down here, the acceleration was in the 1. Now we're going to get another little dip here. So this would have to be the 3, 4, 5 of the 3. So let's see if I label it. So, well, let's see, it may be easier just to. So this would be the 3, this would be the 4, this would be the 5. Now I'm not getting classic divergence here, but that's the internal fifth. So now I'm going to go to the 4. So here's the. Well, let's put these so you can see them a little better. Right. So now I'm at the 4. That's a little higher. Now I did go to a 4 hour, probably at an 8 hour here. I'm careful about doing this, right? Changing time frames to get a better look at it. But since we started at the daily, so here that would be a little bit more consistent with what you'd be looking for in that 4th, right? We don't want the 4 going too far. And then as we come down for this 5th, even if it's got more to go, if we're finishing here in this little wedge to fit over ending diag, right? In Elliott speak, wedge, classic TA. Boy, right, so what would you be looking? Oh, where's that little thing? This thing here. So we might be looking for this to roll over one more time, come down, tag that 50. And nothing says that we have to stop at the 50 and then start to roll up again, right? That's what you'd be looking for with regards to how you'd anticipate the RSI to get a perfect clean count. Because if we're not done yet, if we're not done yet, you'd expect one more roll down. You would not be anticipating that to go below the 30. And then look for that to start up again. But, oh shit, I hate that thing. Get off of there. Great link and trade, right? I guess the broader point here is what this is makes zero difference. None. Well, maybe I'll back off of that a little bit. In the context of how you approach the chart, right, it would make no difference. Now, quality of the company and if we're trading in equities here, there's certainly more to it than that. But I would say that the premise here is I've never even heard of this company. Can I trade it? Yeah, I can trade it. I mean, certainly we're going to pay attention to earnings, right, coming up. So look, she's got this teed up. He's looking for a pop into earnings, a retrace, and then we moon. Right, so to put it in context, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right now, if we get that could be the 3. Now, heads up here, right? Look. He's why are you choosing that target? That's interesting. Maybe he's just going for well, it's only 26 to 1. Maybe his thought is that's enough. But where's if this is a 2, the potential here is for 90 to 1. So I say to you, why would you not take that trade? Well, oh shit, I don't know that company. I don't trade it. I don't have enough capital to put towards that. Okay, well, it's not an inexpensive company, right? Maybe an option play is a better way to go for that. This is not a complicated option trade other than you got to consider the time value here, right? If you're looking for these kind of things over time, well, you're going to have to pay for that time, right? So the option is going to be very expensive. So if I were trading this with options with this kind of a projection, I'd be more inclined to be selling a put spread underneath and just let the time decay work for me. So, maybe you sell. I have to price them out here. But maybe you can sell here close to the golden zone. Oh, let's see. What's the right way to do this? If I do it this way. So you might sell 1 on this side of the golden zone and do it like this. Because your thought would be if we're going to come down here, this should be the final leg. Well, here, let's see if we can put this together. If you look over here, right, so we'd have structural support, potential, right? It's always just potential. Prior resistance comes the support. So I'd be looking to sell something on the other side here because if I'm a little closer to the money, I'm going to get more for that. Now, remember, it's been coming down for months now, so the puts are going to be inflated. Calls will be cheap. So I would sell one just on the other side of the 618 here and put my protection, right? So I don't have unlimited risk. I'd buy a put on the other side, well, maybe at the 707. It's just a function of what's the dollar value in there. But they should be decent because we've been coming down since October, or when do we do this? October of last year. Right? Calls are cheap. Puts are going to be more inflated. It's not terribly volatile, so the implied volatility may not be massive, but you do have earnings coming up. Now, are you comfortable making that play going in earnings? Well, actually, it's not that close. It's the end of the year. I'd be selling out of the money puts here. in a put spread, right? I never want to be with unlimited risk, right? That's always the danger of selling a naked put. I would spread it, and then if we start to go here and get this little pullback here, right? So you can put this trade plan together with options. You're selling the puts here just to give you some cash and some time burn here. Now that does not mean this is guaranteed profit, right? Your risk would be the difference in price between the two puts that you sold less the credit that you got. So your risk here is controlled. But if you start to get this kind of action, then I would use that premium to buy a call here. Now keep that open-ended because you're bullish, but you're going to have to pay for time. So you're going to have to buy, minimum 90 days. And you're going to hope that if you're playing this with options, that you get far enough ahead here that you can take that profit, and that perhaps you get a 4 here, you can reload and go another 90 days out, because you're playing this to go, to be bullish for the next 2-3 years, right? You got to pay for a lot of time for those kind of options. So, options just open up a different set of tools for you, right? Not to get into a whole option scenario here, but I feel like I probably lost half the people here. Okay, so let me move off of that. Thanks, PK. I've got another one from you, so hang on one second. I'll bring that up. Okay, this is MAXR. Oh, shit, what do I got to mark the time here? 15:52. Okay, so we got MAXR Technology, another company I've never heard of. Again, that doesn't concern me in the slightest. MAXR. Technology communication equipment, U.S. based, in the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, well, as much as I need to know. All right, so he's got this, right? This is good work here. So we've got a 5-3-5-3-5 leading diag. We're getting complex here. So what do we call this? It's not sharp, kind of sideways. He's working through an ABC here. So here's the ABC of the W. A, right? This is pretty tricky. B, you got to deal with that impulse, right? You wouldn't know this until you rolled over here, because that impulse looks like, oh, well, of course, what you'd be thinking is something along these lines. Oh, 1 impulse. Oh, here comes the 2. Oh, we're going to go, right? So when we break this low, you got to called relabeling, right? You got to relabel, recalculate. So if the correction is not done, well, let's see how deep we've gone. Oh shit, you got the range here for log scale as well. Oh, look, so this is interesting, right? So we come down here. Here's a little reaction at the 50. Now golden zone, golden zone, golden zone, golden zone. Like boom, 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 boom. They finally break it. And now, of course, right? That becomes the resistance. Right, so you can almost just do it this way, right? This is nothing we haven't looked at 1,000 times on other charts, right? Bang, 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 bang. They finally get it to break. So now as we sit here, what'd you send me, PK? I think you sent me a 4-hour on this one as well. So we have a contender. Do you have anything underneath? No, I guess you don't. Oh, we got a contender for a low here. Let's put it in log scale just out of curiosity. So I've got a low here of we'll call it $4. And a high of $60. So warranted look in log scale. Yeah, that's certainly more than 4 times, right? And you kind of see the diag a little bit better here. So now you're not over here going, oh, broke the golden zone, although it is, right? Interesting. We're gonna see how that happens. So now we come here. Oh, are we done here? Could we be done here? Is this a 1-2 that's finished? Well, that's the implication per his count, right? There's nothing here that I would see that would make you think otherwise, right? Let's just put these up there. Oh, come here. Oh, what do we want? Minuet will do it. Okay, so that's the daily look at it. Let's go down to what he sent me, which was a 4-hour. All right, it's kind of interesting. So WX, right? It's clear diag. Clear impulse here. So we got to deal with that. ABC, right? Pretty clean 3. Now it looks like we're working on that diag to come out of there. Oh man, you went small here. Let's get these so you guys can see them. And this one in white, so we can see them. Okay, so we got a contender for 1. Ooh, yeah, that's a free fall. So this one's already gone up here. So candidate 5. 1. It is straight down. ABC into the 3. Again, the 2 and the 4 are suspect. Let's see, let's go to an hourly here, see if we get any more subdivision. I might go to a line since this is kind of hard to see. Well, the 2s and the 4s look a little sketchy on the 4 hour. Boy, I guess you can do it. So you'd have to do something like that for the 3 there, and then on this 3 is clear. This one, oof. Well, I think you're just making do with what's there, best case. So is it? So he's. Let's get it fully labeled. See right there. Let's get you up to micro. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4? Well, one of the things that you'd look for here. Oh, PK, forgive me here. I'm just going to take some of this off just because it's not colors I'm used to. So let me just work with mine. So in a diag, we want to be looking for a... Jesus Christ. I swear to God, I did not know that was coming. In a diag, we want to be looking for a reaction between this at the location of the start of the 1 through the pivot of the 3. So a retrace, we're looking for it right at the 50. I did not know that was coming. What do we do here? Oh, come here. Oh, hang on a second. I don't like that wave. Get off. Oh, fuck. Come here. Settings. Wave. Get off of there. Okay. Oh, shit. ABC. I can't say I love that. So what's your alternate here? Let's see here. 1. Well, you're giving me... This kind of looks to me like, I mean, when it's 50 to the tick, Jesus Christ, that's amazing. So look where we're going. So it looks like we could be right here, ABC into the 3. Now perhaps what you're wrestling with here is the length of the 3rd relative to the 1. So we've got, does it get it? Just shy. All right, so we're going to have to pay attention. Oh, that might fuck us up here, actually. Let's just see. Do we get it? You got to be right on those. Hang on, this is so close. You got to get it right on it. You got to get on that, and you got to get on this one. All right, because this is going to determine whether or not we can label this as such. Okay, so let's now lock it since we got it dialed in. Okay, so it does look like one. Looks like I'm good there. Let's just quickly double check. Nope, I'm not. Let's get you off. There we go. For our 2. Now let's lock it. Do we make it? All right, so you see why I'm doing that, right? So see, oh, yes, we do. All right, so just, oh, fuck, I'm locked here everywhere. Just barely long enough, right? Just wicked it. So I do not have to worry about 3 being the shortest in this count. And since I've got this beautiful 50 here, I'd lean into that. Oh, sorry, pardon. Right here. So as we come up to that, now note here, as we come into that, what do you got here? Let's go back to that 4 hour that you sent me. What are we hitting? Just basic. Oh, looks like this is a whole lot of prior support. Now going to be tested from below. Actually, it looks like, oh, here, if I just kind of use what you're using. What are you using here? So this would be, this looks like an order block here that already got tapped. All right, so tap, broken. As we come back to it, potentially a breaker block, right? So we'd potentially come up here and then test from below. Oh, he's got projections up here for that to go further. So the whole setup, let's go back to where the trade is, right? So first takes a minute. You got to kind of, where is this trade? Okay, well, this is 1, 2. There's not much in that, right? It's just a straight moonshot. So I'm going to take this one off for a second. If this is going to be our leading diag, and it may not, right? There may be more into this. So you could certainly see something like this going like that, so that you'd stay with the series of 3s. But then here, I'm going to do it this way, PK. So then we'd be looking for this to come down. All right, so maybe the trade is here. Let this complete, since we're kind of late here. Really, the trade was here and it's come and gone. You're too. When was that? That's last Friday when you tagged that. So we're just vertical launch from that. So that's earnings, right? That's why. So you've got the reason for that to kick. Oh, we go to a C. Oh, you might have it, right? You might have that there. A, B, C, something like that for the 5. So then it's a whole lot of hurry up and wait and see if you can get a decent 2 here. All right, so there's still possibility this could go further. Well, let's look left here. All right, there's nothing. So what he's trying to do is let this complete wherever we get this to complete, and then the A, the B, and the C, and that's your launch out. Oh, looking for anything down here. So this would be a function of how far do we go here. So if we go up something like that, so then you'd be golden zone. If you, I mean, I'm pulling for something I do not have. So, you know, again, that's kind of what you'd be hoping for. Oh, maybe this is it's going to be an impulse. We'll get something like that, right? So we can stay with the 3s, at least in the actionary waves here, rather than the correctives, because the correctives are damn near a free fall. But you got a nice 3 in the 3, and maybe you get a little further in the 5th. So you wouldn't mind that, right? So then you could have 5 longer. 3 is barely just longer than 1, and then if you had 5 longer than 3, you maybe get a better looking diag coming out of here. You get a leading diag, and then you're just waiting for that 2 to come back. Same kind of thing, right? This lends itself to an option trade. You're going, you know, you'd need at least 90 days here. I'd probably do it the same way. I'd sell some out of the money puts. No, now you've had this rocket here, so the calls are going to be expensive. I might wait a little bit on this. I'd let this shape up, and as we start to come down, so this is how I would do it. If we start to come down here, that's where I'm going to sell puts, right? Or buy calls or buy the asset, right? So it's inexpensive enough stock, you could buy the underlying. But the TA approach is the same. It never changes. That's the superpower. All right, let me stop there. Thanks for those, PK. Good. Bit green looks decent. Okay, so I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, next up I got CN Salazar is giving a Chevron, a CVX. Trying to get so his note here is I'm trying to get context to put the smaller scale in. Okay, well let's just first come back to this. We got the full history of Chevron. We're going back to Jesus. What are we going back to? 1968. Oh, interesting, right? Double bottom is where we launched from. Okay, so this is, is it hard to figure this one out? I mean, well, there's some complexity, right? So this is a little tricky. The corrections have been a little funky, but the basic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hard to miss it, right? I mean, I suppose some of this could be tricky if you're new to Elliott Wave. This definitely would be. There's no question, right? So you've got to do this as a WXYXZ. All right, that may not be. Well, let's just say that might be challenging, right? So we're just going sideways, right? That's kind of the characteristic of a 4. Same thing here. Now, you do get sharp 4s, right? Whoops, I wanted a box. You get sharp 4s, but essentially what you're looking for is an area where we're going sideways, right? We're not, or we're correcting the 3, or in the best kind of impulses, right? We don't get a 50. We stay between the 23 and the 38, gives us more upside range, and we just kind of go sideways. And that's, you can see pretty much the same thing in the 2. Okay, we got that rip-roaring rocket out of the low here, and then sideways in the 2. This is a little funky. Oh, he's forced to do it this way because you've just got this free fall here. This is right, just straight down. So you might have been thinking WX. Oh, I can't get a 3 in there, so you got to go A, expand the B into a C. Clean work here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's nice. A. Oh, looks like so he's going to go A, and then he's going to put a triangle in the B of the B, right? So A, B, C. Well, actually, it would be, oh, fuck. Oh, it doesn't matter here. 3 down for the C, so we're into the 4. There's the 3 off of this 1, 2. Up for the 3, pulling from the 2, right? His labeled 2 through the pivot of the 3. Well, here I am right to the 23, right? Where you'd hope to spot it, right? In a raging bull. Take these off, right? You get the idea there. Okay, so this, yeah, that's a little funky. That takes some skill to know how to do that. But once we get this pivot, look, when oh shit, that's the COVID low. Once we get the COVID low here, yeah, sure enough. Well, so let's go to a 3-day first here and look at that. What's come off of that. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. Okay, so let's come off of that and see how we do come. Jesus, right? So this should surprise exactly 0 people. So swing up for the 1. What do? We come back, we tag the 65, right? I just want to emphasize this. Oh, we actually get a wick through. It's not the 618. Right, you got to make that distinction, right? It's a zone. That's why we call it the golden zone, right? So what you want, you don't want to see it close below the 65, and we don't get it here, right? This we are seeing this much more commonly, right? So in here, shit, I'm on a daily. So is that a break? Of course, it's a break, but we don't close above. Right, it's just something we're starting to see more and more in these. Okay, so there's your 1 coming out of that. So 1, 2. Oh, he didn't. This looks like he got a perfect measured move here, actually. I'm not sure why he didn't put that on there, but what do I have here? Let's get my golden zone. All right, so we got our 1, we got our wick that pops, then we hold the 65. Here we're getting 1, 2. I don't have second target on there. Well, shit, it doesn't matter, right? So we certainly got it. Okay, so coming off of the COVID low, 1, golden zone 2, and then that's not going to be 3. So 1, 2. Just out of curiosity, this seems to like the 1, 2, 7, 1, 3, 8. So we've got that for our 3. So that's pretty good looking 3. Oh, looks to me, CN, like you'd have to do it this way because you got an impulse here. So you'd have to do an A, B, C, right? So your 4 is coming in here. I think you want your 4 over here. And then 1, 2. Well, here we go. Well, let's take this up a degree. All right. Okay. So 1, 2. Let's just I like to just force a habit, right? So I can just consistently do it. So let's look at wave 4s. All right. 38, 23, 50. This is the zone. Okay. Looking good. So I get a pivot here. Now 1, 2. That looks pretty deep, actually. So it looks like you might have a 707 or 786 here. Let's check that. Let's get our on here. So we got a break of the golden zone. Now, do I need to be in log here? I don't know that I do. Certainly over time, right? We're going from 0 to 176. But if I compress the range here, where I'm looking at, well, essentially, what do I got here? From, call it 100 to 188, right? So I can come out of log here. Let's check that line chart. It kind of looks like you want to finish it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, you do. So 1, 2. Pretty banging 3 going on. Okay, so let's get this one out of here. Oh, I just added the Sonar Labs to it. They've just done an upgrade here, so you got some nice new colors and a few new features. They do a great job. 1, 2. Well, so if we're going to label this seems like our candidate for a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So we're working on the internal. Let's get that down a degree. We're working on the internal. That might have to go minuscule. Right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This looks like 1, 2. Let's go. So, okay, 1, 2, working on 3, but we're working on 3 of 3, 4, 5. So we are now putting in new all-time highs. God, if there ever was one asset class where you can trade a breakout, it would be equities. But at this point, I wouldn't be a buyer there myself. Right? There's just from a lot of years of doing this, I don't buy breakouts ever. But if I were gun to my head, right? What do we got underneath? You're getting a little hot here. This sure does look like a 3, right? So if you can kind of label it this way. In fact, James M has made this a real practice. He's gotten quite good at this. 1, 2, working on the 3, 4, 5, right? So you can track an Elliott count just using the Elliott oscillator. Right, can be useful. So this would be the 3, 4, 5, right? So you're looking for this. This is where it's most useful, right? That divergence. If this is 3, 4, 5, well, kind of. So 1, 2. This would be the 3 of the internal 3, 4. That's the 3 of the 3. There's the 5, right? Classic divergence. Down we go. Look at the RSI. Now this is deeper than you'd want your 4. right? It just is, right? And that's a daily chart. So there are times where this is just, it's going to be deep, right? I mean, this was a 50% retracement, right? We usually like them at 23.38. So we do go deep here, right? There's no absolutes. Deeper than I would have liked it, but look here, you see it, right? So you see the divergence here as we come down. So this is, we put in a fresh low here, but the RSI is not as deep. And then you see the color of the Elliott Wave Oscillator go to dark red. So we're starting to climb. Now we climb, but we don't make 70. Back to 50, right? Here's the break. Now we come down, we just tickle the edge of 30, and now we're ripped right all the way back to 70, and you see the push here, so you got a candidate here for that to be your 3, right? And then you'd be looking for the 4 down here, and then a 5 to go up, and then show divergence, right? So it's a very useful tool to be used that way. All right, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see if I'm trading this, I'm waiting for that to finish. I want the 4 to the 5, right? So I would be teed up right here. So you'd have nice potential, right? It's always just potential. Come here. Just potential structure here. You can give yourself some targets, right? There's no reason not to. 1, 2, right? So if this is going to go 1, 2, and we're going to go past that, because it sure does look like we're going to. Looks like you could get a 3 up here. You get a 3 at 2, 6, 1, 8, right? I mean, it could be any of these, right? This is just the most common for that 1, 2. Now, what else would I want to put on there? All right, if I'm trading this, I'm going to use every tool I can. Right, so well, the 80% is already in, right? You're 2 and through. Now we're going to get that. We're going to get that 3rd here. Now remember, that's from the 1, 2 of the larger 1, 2, not the little micro. So 1, 2, and this could be done. It looks like you could have a 3, 4 in here, and we're going for that 5 of 3. That's not out of line. Could be, right? Catch the edge of the median lines back to the lower edge, back to this structure. Boy, this actually lays out pretty nicely. It's a good looking setup right there. 1 for the list here. I don't think we're likely to see any. Well, I shouldn't say that. At the moment, it doesn't seem like we're likely to see these companies doing less well than they're currently doing, and they are, well, some people say they're taking advantage, other people say it's just pure capitalism, but they are setting records, profit records, as we sit at a new all-time high. Okay, so there's a few things to think about here. Again, I think this is too far gone, right? You're too stretched here, right? This is just gone too far, right? It just, I mean, could it keep going? Of course it can keep going. But is that the right place to enter? I'd want to get the energy renewed, right? So that's how I look. It's always energy to me. Okay, so if I come down here, do I have the energy to go all the way up and make that loop? If I come down, what I would want here is I would want this to come down to the 50 and then start to come back up, right? So above 50, we're trending. Below 50, we're trending lower. It tends to be, right? You'll find that be very consistent. And that's why you absolutely have to have a 50 on your RSI. All right, pretty good looking work there. Thanks, Ian. That's a good chart. Good work. Looks like this is the one I'd be looking for right there. You buy calls there if you want. I mean, they're not going to be inexpensive, but you don't have to buy as much time. You'd have to get out to March, so at least, oh shit, might have to go more than 90 days to get the full boat there. And that's the trade-off with options, right? Especially when you're looking at daily charts. You got to buy time if you want this to realize. Other thought is just take a piece of, or as I was saying before, it comes down for the 4, sell the out of the money puts. So you could take, let's see, let me do this. I'd sell these puts here, use that spread, something like that. So because what you would not be anticipating was a big drop off here in the 4, right? If we're going to hold an impulse. So you could sell here on you could actually sell a little closer to that. Right? You might be able to sell right here. So you're selling at the 1, and then you're buying your protections on the other side of that. Use that credit to try and get cost reduction for the call you're going to buy here to try and get to the 5. Right, that's how I would do it. Okay, there we go, guys. Let's see. Okay, Al-Wanahi was asking for a quick look at Bitcoin and ETH. Let me do that last because I got Pizza Man. Pizza Man, where have you been? Glad to see you back, man. Glad to see you back and posting. So give me 1 second. I'll bring up what it's Sonos. That's right. Okay, give me a sec. All right, Pizza Man. We got Sonos here. We got our full history. Let's see. So earnings are coming pretty soon, 15th. Well, some complexity here. I'm going to hide that just to kind of give us a little clarity in here. Okay, so we're going to go impulse. 1, 2, it gets a little skinny up there. Okay, so we're going to have to do it 3, 4, 5. Ooh, that's getting a little thin. I don't know that I see a better solution. You're kind of stuck with that. That doesn't get there, so I see what you're thinking, right? So you're going to have to do it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just an ugly diag to finish it. So yeah, I got an A, I got a B, and then I'm coming down. Here, let's open that up a little bit so we can all see it a little better. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get a 5 of a 5 of a C to make a W. So tricky one, but it's there, right? So it's A, B, C, right? That gives us a W. Let's put that. Oh, come here. Let's go. I like them in green, just force a habit. So let's go to intermediate. Okay, so I got a W. Now I got just a beautiful 3 into an X. And again, I know, it's always easy after the fact, right? Nice structure, right? Support. Oh, can't get through. You know, often what you see here and what's reflected here, I probably should do a full video training on this. Do you see what? So let's. Is this a good example? Well, okay. So let's consider this. Likely, you have people that were looking for this to be done here. So they were thinking A, B, and C, right? And now we're going to go off here. So it's very, very reasonable to anticipate that you might have had some buyers here looking for this to carry on in this trend. This isn't a great example, but it was just to make the point. So if you had some buyers here, right, there's very real possibility here that some of them, right, had to ride this down. Right, they don't want to take losses. Right, they're upside down in the trade here, and so what you see is often when the market will come back to where it launched from, it's not just unfilled orders. It's often the people that were on the wrong side of the market are getting out now. Right, so it's, oh God, please get me back. Some of them will get out here, right? Some of them will get here. Oh, that's close enough. Okay, I'm out. And then here, right, the rest of them, right, they'll try and get out at break even, which looks like they did, right? If they were buyers here, they're coming back just enough to get out at break even, and then down it goes. So this can be, that's why this can be a really effective place to be looking for that second sell. Where's here, you got an order block. Where's the break of structure? Here. So it looks like you got an order block right there, which we come right into, right? So here's the last up before. This is just a change of character, but that's a better break right there, actually. So, God damn it. Right there. So we're getting lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. All of a sudden, we get we don't get break structure, but I do get a change of character. Now we come back to where anyone who was long, oh God, thank God I got out. Right, can be a good place to re-enter. Okay, so what's next? What would you think would be next? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, it looks like you're gonna have to go A, B, C into the B here. Right, we don't quite go. Look at the Vegas wave. Right, just right in the pocket. Down to target. Right, so clearly an algo got what it was after there, which would give us, so let's pull back out here. So we got a nice sharp double here. And it's amazing. What do we do here? Golden zone, right? You guys, I mean, I've shown it so many times. I don't, like, is that not the first thing you look for? Anyone who's watched me or seen any of my videos, more than 3 of them, would that not be the first thing you'd look for? Where is it? What did it do last? Which side is it on? Who's got the advantage? Who's got the advantage here, right? So, I mean, what is the only thing the market can do, right? Swing and retrace. That's it, right? We're in 2 dimensions here. Can't do anything else. That's all it can ever do, right? Now we can have all sorts of complexity here, right? Oh God, oh look, all right. But if you break them down, that's all the market can do, right? It's swing, retrace, right? Are we going this way? We're going this way. That's all it can do. So this is complexity in here. Oh, I got to go ABC into a W, ABC into an X. Oh, man, wacky B, and I'm done here. Where after all of that gyration, where do I finish? Golden zone. Just astonishing, right? Now, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, oh, fuck, well, everybody's going to be rich now. Trading's easy, right? Because it's on both sides. Oh, shit, I'd be willing to bet you ran into something here. You ran into a 50? Could be. Right? We don't know. That's the thing, right? We're always trying to say, oh, shit, is that a significant pivot? Well, that's an open after a gap. That's the significant pivot. So if we start coming up here, well, let's go down. Let's see, we're on an 8-hour. Let's see if we can put this together because that doesn't look like it's done. Oh, what are you thinking, Pizza Man? Let's get down here. Whew, that's close. Well, it looks like you might have a diag going. 2, 3. Let's see here if that overlaps. If that's our 1, let's just pop that on there, and we do. Oh, if that's too much on an 8, let's see if we get a little more swing structure there. A, B, C into a 1, A, B, C into a 2. You're going to have to go A, B, C into a 3. That's just all I got is an A here. What do we look for in a diag? Reaction in the 4 at the 50, right? We like to see it at the 50. Is that enough? Is there a 3 in there? Well, that kind of looks like it's putting in a B. Do we have this here? Are we clean? Is this? Yeah, I guess we are. We are. Okay, so we're good here. So we can go with the 1, 2, right? Of all the rules, that's the one you can never break, right? Can't have a 2 below the start of the 1. So looks like a diag going. That's a little shaky, right? Of course, what you'd like to see here is a little bit better of a 3. Yeah, but, well, this kind of looks like a 3. So it looks like you might be putting in a B wave here. It looks like you might have that going and then one more down, but you don't want it going that deep, actually. Oh, what are you thinking, Pizza Man? Is it time to buy here? You had a little... Okay, let's put this back in. You're looking for that. Okay, so this is his plan, right? So he's trying to get this 5. What? Just give me a motive, right? Give me a 5 here, diag. Just give me a 5, right? Playback. Oh, shit, I didn't even see that. Okay, so we get that. Now play back into this, right? He's already got it teed up for you. All right, we complete this leading diag, right? So we got a 1. So after all of that, everything with this sharp double, the complicated correction that it gets on here, just tiptoes into the golden zone. So where wouldn't this be a trade you'd be interested in? Oh shit, is that my low? No, let's get my low here. Would this not be something you'd be interested in? Now I don't have this yet, but if I get it, yeah, I'd be interested, right? That's the easy money right there, right? Again, assuming this holds, right? We got 80% odds, right? 80 is not 100. So if you take this trade and it dumps, right? It's not 100%, 80%, I'll take all day long. Is that going to be my 3? Probably not. So if I were to get that, what okay, can I get a 2 to get my 3 going? That's the advantage of Elliott Wave, right? I can map this out. Now, do I know it's going to follow that? Of course not. Of course not. But at least if I get the 5 and the 3, I get a fairly good. Well, we don't get certainty. All we get is the slightest of edges, right? So if I think I've got a 5 followed by a 3, I'm at a double golden zone. So if I've gone golden zone, and I can put a set of median lines on it, and I know I've got 80% probability of getting that median line, I'm taking that fucking trade. I mean, why would you not take that? Again, right? It's not a function of, oh, well, I'm a crypto trader. It's just, if you saw a setup like that, let's say it's your favorite asset, right? You don't get that. And well, let me rephrase that. If you see that and it's something that you're trading, that's a trade you want to take, right? It doesn't matter whether you're interested in Sonos or not. That has no bearing on this. It's the structural setup. Oh, I only trade Ethereum. Okay, well, if you see that in Ethereum, you better fucking take that trade, right? Because they don't give them to you that often. That they're that good. Gold. So where you can get clear TA on the way down, and everything pops exactly where you're thinking about it, and then you come in here and you get a 5 and a 3, take the goddamn trade, right? Don't overthink it. What's your risk here? There's no reason to not take a trade that sets up like that. What's the worst case scenario? Oh, I lost what? Shit. Oh, I had a 3% loss. Well, saddle up, buddy. You better get used to that. You're going to have a shitload of those. But that's not the name of the game. The name of the game is never, right? As I've said many, many times, never do this, right? So take that 3% because you're going to, if you're consistently setting up like this, you're going to get one that's going to run. And right, that 3% is going to be like, oh, just the cost of doing business, right? Oh, okay, sure. I'm going to get stopped out, right? And as I say, right? Boxing. You're in the ring, you're going to get hit. Don't let a setup like that, whatever it is, pass you by. It's too good not to take it. Well, I wanted to see what happened. I was a little scared. It was coming down, right? It was coming down. That's why you want to buy it, right? You don't want to buy them when they're going up. Okay, there we go. All right, let me, how am I doing here on time? All right, let me pause here because looks like the market's rallying. Okay, let me pause. We'll take a quick peek. Alwanahi asked for a quick peek at Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, so back in a all right, per Alwanahi's request for just a quick look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. So here, what do I got? A 1 hour here on BitGet, right? You guys know this is where I like to trade. So it's hard not to see an impulse there. It really is, right? So, well, let me blow this up a little bit. What would give you the thinking here? Well, look at the impulsive moves, right? These are just these are just ripping, right? Big ripping bursts, right? Boom, 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 right? And now look at the corrections, right? We're going sideways, right? So we get these impulsive moves, right? Well, we can pull them all the way out. We get this impulsive move, sideways, impulsive, sideways, impulsive. Well, that's where that comes from. So hard not to see it or label it that way. Now some, right, they're going to be Elliottians would differ here. I'm going WX triangle Y to get my 2. Now, before you think, oh, I don't know about that. Well, it's a combination of one. Okay, well, is that the count? Well, I think it is actually, right? So does it matter? Well, certainly the swing structure here suggests motive wave. And this is a little complicated, but it certainly does look like an impulse. So does it look like we're done here? Well, it's again, rip, retrace, rip sideways, rip sideways, rip sideways. So you'd be looking for something here to kind of drift lower. Now, does anybody really want to be taking, sizable positions ahead of the? All right, we all know the U.S. elections are tomorrow, right? So that's creating it's going to be a shit show as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so we've got this area down here is what we're looking for in terms of retracement. Do we look like we're done here? Well, it's hard to call that. Oh, it looks like actually here it looks like you got some sort of a diag 1, 2, 3. Maybe the 4 is going in. We're looking for an A to come down here. Nice. So you don't want to take the first rip down, right? That's often that's what retail will do, right? We broke that trend line. Oh, we're going down, right? So remember, that's a sucker play, right? That's often, and then bulls will be thinking, oh, we're going. That's what creates the B. What are they after, right? The liquidity up there. Well, we've got order blocks, demand zones right here. So if we get a 3 here, that's what you're hoping for. Now, is the market going to cooperate? We don't know, right? For all we know, we're just going to moon right from here. You don't know. But you don't want to gamble. Oh shit! Can I get an impulse out of that? This looks like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like the 3 is done. So we don't want this going too high, right? I say that as a hodler. Oh shit! That's not what I want. Shift makes it straight. There we go. Okay, so here there's the little break. Change of character. So that little break creates the 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got a good 3. Oh, let's zoom in there a little bit. The 4 is doing just what we want. What do I have here? Let me just to see if we can get it in there. Oh, what is the bull Elliott Wave? Let's put that on there. Okay, so this would be perfect, right, for a 1, 2, big 3, retracing back towards the 0 line for the 4. And then where's that little thing? What you'd want here is for this to come back up for the 4 and then come down, but not go as deep as the 3. Then you're thinking, oh, okay, time to maybe look at getting on the long side. Let's get rid of these. They're sticky to the mouse. I know that. Okay, so candidate for the 4. Well, where do we look for the 4? Right, 38. We really don't want that going too much further, and sure, it looks like it's gonna have legs. In an impulse, you don't want a 4 going to the golden zone. Even, and I say that, and you're like, well, wait a minute, I thought that was the trade you were after. Well, from an Elliott context, not necessarily, right? That we don't want 4s going that far. It kind of well, so look what it would do to your count. 2, 3. We don't want this if we can avoid it. Right? It just when you're after the right look, that's not it. This would be much more the right look. Right? We don't want that big kick, and now you may not have any way around it. Although it looks like we're going to hit some consolidation here. Well, let's get you on the pivot. All right, so a 50 would be just fine. That's what you'd like, right? So you got a little, probably got a demand zone here, right there. So if we come into that, pop the 50, that would be just perfect. So you're looking for that to come down. So what I have here, right, just an A wave. Our destination is down here. So we actually want this, right? So a little uncertainty, maybe we re-roll over tonight. Then right, depending on how the election goes, which almost doesn't matter as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be a shit show. And then we're going to come down here, right? So you get your B. A, B. I mean, you've got a candidate here for a good sell. Now, if we do this, if we go up above the golden zone, I'd be rethinking that. I would, right? I don't know that I would probably wait, because that would be a fly in the ointment here. I'm not looking for that. And how would you count that? What are you going to do? A, B, C? God, that would be. I wouldn't take a trade based off trying to dig a 3 into that. I'd be looking for this to play ball, right? To play Elliott ball, come down here. So the choice is short it here, looking to long it on the correction, right? That's what you're after. That'd be my thought for the shorter term plays. But I don't know that I'd be overly aggressive. If anything, I'd be hedged going into tomorrow, right? You don't know who. Let's just say, for the sake of conversation, that we have all sorts of chaos in the next 48 hours. That would be my guess. We're going to have a lot of chaos, and that may create enough uncertainty to where risk assets maybe get dropped. Now, it's dangerous to try and think through, how the market's going to react to what's going on over the next, let's call it, week. So don't feel like with that uncertainty, you need to rush into the market. If you're long Bitcoin currently, one thought is to hedge it a little bit, right? I'm working on some content here to show you some ways to do that. But as it sits right now, I don't know that I would be going heavy on either side here. I just get through that volatility and then let the market reset. What we're waiting for is this, right? However long it takes to get there. That's what you're hoping to see, because then you'd have a pattern recognition here, everything you'd be looking for. And this is technical, right? Of course. Oh, there's a couple of median lines in here that are pretty good. There's that one, right? So from the low swing 3, 4, right? Remember, it's 80%. So you get that. So that's not a golden, but there's your 80%. And then we've got another one right here, right? So if this is 1, 2 now, so this is using the Elliott, right? An algo is not going to use that, but we're going to use that. And what do we get here, right? Indeed, right? If that's the 2 via the WXY, right? Just tagged it, right? There's your 80%. Amazing to me that I don't see, it truly shocks me. This is the single most valuable technical tool of any that's ever been created. It has the highest probability of odds. The number of charts that I see with median lines on them, maybe 2%, at the 1%. I rarely, now there are a few, I rarely see anybody using it. Is that not astonishing? I don't know how anyone could ever watch any of my videos and not have that be one. Oh shit! Well, I better get the median lines on there. Now they're not always going to be spot perfect. You want, if it's tracking, let's pay attention to it. Where else? Where else you getting 80% odds? Very few places. Okay, guys, I got one more. Oh, shit, I thought I was done there. Okay, I got one more. I got Ethereum. Okay, back in one sec. Okay, ETH is interesting. Oh, we've looked at this a couple of times, right? So here's a pretty good looking one. All right, nice impulse, right? So there's a little complexity to it, but we get a pretty clear, oh, God damn it, pretty clear A, B, C, right? Comes down. Now, sure looks like we're working on an impulse. Now the question, are we done here? Well, it doesn't look like it. We don't really want it to be done there, but let's just take a look here. Now, this is kind of tricky. You really, if you zoom in here, you essentially have the same count here, because what you can't do here, well, when I say that, I mean, if you're going to apply Elliott Wave, you can't do that. You can't go 1, 2. You can't do it. That's not a 5. So you end up with the exact same count. You have to do it this way. W, X, and then triangle Y for the 2. You're kind of forced to, my view is, shit, probably 20 Elliotticians are going to disagree with me, but my view is you've got to go A, B, C, D, E to get that Y to finish, so that this is you've got this 3 accounted for. All right, you don't like it? All right, show me how you're counting that, right? I've seen, oh shit, I got a few comments. People didn't like it. I think that's a better way to do it. So there's your 1, A, B, C, W, A, B, C, X, triangle, Y. Now you go. All right, so let's pull back here. Now, where are we here? This sure does look like you got your 3 here. It doesn't look like it's done. Now, if we look underneath, another good example. Again, James M is doing a great job here. So you guys, Sensei James M, pay attention to this. This is a nice way. I don't focus on this enough, right? Because I just assume people know this, but I shouldn't assume that. So if we're coming into this, this would be, oh shit. Let's do, here we'll do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, are we done? You certainly would have all of the, let's take that minuscule and put it in white so we can see it a little bit better. You would have all of the ingredients here. But it doesn't, it looks like it needs one more up there. So let's dig in there. Oh, let's get you down here. If this is 1, 2, excuse me, 3, looks like 4. The 5 doesn't look like it's quite done. Although again, there's that 4. If it's 1, 2, 3, 4, I really don't want that deep, which is why it's tempting to think, oh, did we finish up here? Did we? This is well, that's the jobs report from last Friday. So that's just a monkey in the wrench of volatility. Oh, I think you essentially would have to read this as, working on swing structure as a 3 into the 4. Now this, oh shit, I'm on a 3 hour. Let's go to a 30-minute. Let's see, do we have enough to work with there? That's a cluster. I guess you could do it. Well, let's just see here. Barely. Let's see if we can label that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this, I don't love it. I think you'd have to do it this way. So we'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get that done. Bring you up a degree. Oh, it's getting skinny. I know it's getting mighty skinny. You'd have to do that as an ABC. There's just not another. There's not another leg to it. So ABC right in there. Slight truncation in the C. So, oh son of a bitch! Did we overlap? I think we did. Yep, we did. Son of a bitch. Okay, let's rethink this. All right, so we can't do it that way. God, that's annoying. So slow, so small. So you'd have to do ABC. Okay, that doesn't kill it. All right, so we'd have to go 1, 2, 3. All right, kind of brings us back to, are we done? 3. Well, of course, the time of the 4 relative to the 2 is not particularly attractive. Can't say I like that, but just out of curiosity. All right, we're too deep here. Is that close or all wick? No, those are closes, right? So you got a hard break. So you've lost the buy side algo here. All right, now we can get another one. Well, shit, we probably already have one here, right? There's probably one right there. But we want a bigger one to get us higher, right? So we want something like this to go. I'd be willing to bet you, right? There's another one right there, but that's a 50. Just a little shy of it. On there. Front run, probably. Doesn't particularly look like we're off to an impulsive start here. Looks like we're off to a diag. Well, let's just see. All right, so okay, first let me come back for a second. Okay, all right. Let's just okay. This should be right. So back to what I was talking about before. What are you asking yourself right now? It doesn't look like that is done. So your first thought is, wonder why it's stopping there. Right now, that's a setup because you know as soon as you hear me say that, what I'm about to do. Wonder why it's stopping there. Well, wonder no longer, right? We know why it's stopping there. Now, I don't care what anybody else tells you. That's why it's stopping there. Right? You run into the sell side algo. Right? So could we be done here? Well, yeah, right? You've got horsepower in here now looking for that. Now, of course, just because there's an algo there doesn't mean it can't be broken. It does not mean that. It just means that we understand now why it can't go any higher. At least on this attempt, right? So if this is going to turn into some ugly diag to finish this, boy, it's going to take some volume and some muscle. We're going to have to push through that. Now, maybe, right? I'm telling you, it's going to be the chaos that's coming drives people into crypto. I mean, it's certainly possible. Right. It's going to be interesting to see, right? There will be those that will think, depending on who the winners are, maybe that's going to be good for the market. I think the exact opposite, but remains to be seen. So we're trying to get a good one here because really, where's the trade? The trade we're waiting for is not to be longing. Oh God. Okay. Do I even have to say this? Like that's not where you don't want to be longing into that, right? I don't think I even need to say that, but just to be sure, Now, when I say that, if it does this tomorrow, don't come back here and shit on this video and say, "Oh, you moron!" I'm just telling you, right? It certainly could blow through there, but that's just a very high risk place to enter the market. Why put yourself in that position? You're literally you might as well go to Vegas. Right? You're just flipping a coin there. Right, you go to Vegas, you get free drinks and a pretty girl to bring them to you, right? That's just not a place to enter. But I am never, ever saying, oh, well, it's certainly not going to go above it. Never what I'm saying, right? Just understand the market, right? That's really what I'm showing you here. Understand why it stops there. Why does it stop there? Same reason it stopped here. Right? Do you get this, guys? I mean, I drive it home, right, all day long, right? And again, I remind you, this is not my discovery. I did not discover this, right? I've analyzed the shit out of it for the last 5 years, so I understand it. But David Halsey is the one who wrote about this. Right? It's not complicated, right? If you've ever seen the history lesson I did on this, right, you can kind of reverse engineer exactly how he did it. But what a discovery, right? Probably the most profitable discovery in the last 20 years in trading, right? Discovering algorithms. I'd love to see if you've got one that's better. I'd love to see it. All right, guys. I think I covered the shit out of everything there. I went over an hour. Ooh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, this is going to be interesting next couple of weeks. Very, very interesting. All right, but right? When you pull up a chart, first thing. All right, do I see a count? Where's the algo? What did it do last? Right? If I just did this and that's not what you're thinking now, I'm not sure I'm your guy. Okay, guys, take it easy. I'll be back. Oh fuck, I don't know when I'm back. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna be out of town on Friday. I'm going my sister's son. So that's my nephew is getting married in Montana. So I'll be gone over the weekend, but I got to fly on Friday. So I'm probably do the next Bitcoin update on Thursday. All right, guys, that should be interesting. Hope you got a little something out of this. Thanks to any of you that stuck around through all of it. I'm sure that's very few of you. Most of you, I'm sure, just go to whatever you're interested in. But hopefully you pick up a few little things here, right? I'm in Ethereum here. That should be helpful. Okay, guys, have a good one. Talk to you next time.